Welcome back to another midweek episode of Journey Unknown. I'm Troy, this is Laura. I won't say my lovely fiance because old mate Trevor, I think it was, at Esperance was telling me I always say lovely fiance, even though she is lovely.
So he's going to stop saying it now.
Yeah,
Thanks, Trevor.
We're done. No more lovely. I probably will throw a few in there, here and there, get some brownie points. Thanks again for tuning in to this midweek episode. The overwhelming response is that people love the facts and figures episode, so we're going to continue to do it as long as we can.
And you get a bit of behind the scenes action, so you get to see some footage that we don't put in our normal
Patreon without being a Patreon. Who would have thought? You get to see it exclusively.
That we don't put in our normal weekly episodes because they're long enough as it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with the map. Actually, before that, where are we?
We're in Bremer Bay.
Yeah.
And
what's
beautiful.
the date?
What is the date, actually? I don't know.
What's
It's the 7th of February. It's actually my sister's birthday, so happy birthday, Cynthia. I don't even know if she watches us, but never mind. Hopefully you have a great birthday.
Yeah, so it's Wednesday, 7th of Feb, and we have been in Bremer Bay since Monday.
Yeah, so we extended a stay for a little bit longer because we want to do some snorkeling. There's going to be a lot coming up on the next episode. Just as I'm talking about episodes, sorry about the fact that our episode launched around 9 o'clock on last night, I believe.
Yeah.
We had a few technical difficulties with the time zone, and unfortunately we didn't hit the right button on that, so it was a little bit later, but we really appreciate the people that stayed up and watched it, because what happens is the algorithm grabs how many people are watching at once, and then it kicks off from there. So because not a lot of people tuned into that episode, the numbers are down a little bit on that, but nevertheless, we're glad everyone that has watched it really liked it, because we enjoyed filming it.
Yeah, I actually set it to 8 o'clock Perth time when I'm supposed to set it to 5 o'clock Perth time, so it's 8 o'clock in Melbourne, Sydney.
Yeah, that is probably one of the downsides of being so up to date, is that you don't get to bank all these episodes and schedule them when you want to schedule them. It's pretty much, shit, we've got to upload it today, it's going to take 10 hours to upload, what times are going to be in Melbourne at that time, so hence why you might, usually we want to try to get videos out on a Monday night.
Yeah, I think we'll try and get back to that.
So this week's episode is a facts and figures from Ceduna all the way through to the Nullarbor and over into Western Australia.
It was a long trip, a very long trip.
It was.
Mind you, we only crossed the Nullarbor in 2 days, so we only stayed in 2 places. There's plenty of other places to stay, but we'll show you our journey. Our map's a bit how you going. So on our last episode, we showed you how we made it to Ceduna and how we didn't go through the Eyre Peninsula. And now we are here. So we're in Ceduna. We took off on Saturday the 27th and we drove through Penong, through Nundru, and we got to the Nullarbor. Now, unbeknownst to us, we thought the Nullarbor started at Ceduna. Well, it doesn't. It actually starts at the Nullarbor. And then somewhere along this way, you've got the 146 k's of straight road. Anyway, we only stopped at the Nullarbor to get to have a rest, and then we continued on. We didn't even get fuel there. So we continued on down the highway, and I think we stopped around here. So that was the campsite we stayed at on the Great Australian Bight. So this is your Great Australian Bight all the way. So it covers a long stretch of the South Australian coast. And we stayed around here for one night, because when we left it was only about 40 k's to Border Village. So then we came back up through Border Village, through Eucla, keep going, and then we moved to our WA map. Alright, so bringing it back, this is about where we stayed. Come through here, through Border Village, through Eucla, through Madura. I think we stopped at Cocklebiddy to get lunch, fuel, or Kaiguna, one of those. I know we stopped at Kaiguna. keep going down the Nullarbor. We stopped at the Balladonia Roadhouse just for a rest and kept going all the way through to Norseman, where we stayed the night. Okay, so that we did all of this in one day. It's about 10 hours. And then after one night at Norseman, we drove 200 k's down to Esperance. So now we're in the southwest coast of WA. So here is the border to South Australia and WA. Alright, Sejuna. Well, everyone saw all the crabs that Troy caught, so he's actually officially on the board. Even with the help of some little kids. So that was awesome.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah.
Cooking crabs under that sunset. I'd like a piece of that. I don't think it gets much better than that sunset with a few blue swimmers, a cold jar, and the cricket. What do you think, sweetheart? She's not impressed. She's got tonsillitis. Let's see what all the hype's about. Oh. Oh, that's good. That is beautiful. First ever blue swimmer. I wonder if they keep in the fridge. Have we got a nutcracker?
Might as well just go and drink from the sea, like I did last time. It really tastes like the sea.
You're not supposed to drink it. You've got to spit it out. Make sure you get 3 figures. If you don't drink it, just gargle it.
I didn't mean to swallow it. We particularly want to tell you about our trip on the Nullarbor, because you see a lot about the Nullarbor on YouTube, but when you get there, it's actually not what you expected. So we left Sejuna on a Saturday and we filled up in Sejuna out in terms of fuel. I think we filled up for about $1.85 to $2 in Sejuna at the time. So that was good. And then as we left, there was a water fill station. So there was like a big water pump that you can go and fill up your tanks. And there was a couple in front of us, so we decided not to wait and we'll fill up somewhere else along the way.
Well, we were going to go back because we had to go get fuel, so we thought we'll go and get fuel, do the dump point, and we'll head back into town a little bit and fill up with water, but for some reason we didn't. Yeah, we thought maybe we'd get it at Penong or something, but we ended up just driving through. Anyway, we didn't get water, and that was a big mistake for us. So leaving Sejuna, fill up with fuel, fill up with water, fill up your jerry cans. Yeah, we filled up with a jerry can of fuel at $1.85, and that really helped along the way, because as you go through the Nullarbor,
yep,
at the Nullarbor Roadhouse, it was about $2.80, was it?
$2.82.
Yeah. So we didn't need to fill up there because we had our jerry can, and we kept going. I do believe that they've got water there, but you've got to pay for it. And I couldn't.
The Nullarbor?
Yeah, someone told me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't find any. I didn't see any there. I did look around because the campsites don't. Even the campsites at the Nullarbor, they've only got powered sites. There's no water there.
So that was something that you probably don't know. So you might think that you might go and camp at the Nullarbor Roadhouse because it's really cool and it is interesting to look around.
Yeah.
But there's no
it's
water,
a dirt patch.
And it's an absolute dust bowl.
Yeah.
So there was dust flying around everywhere, and you've got road trains coming in. The fuel's so expensive.
Yeah.
And the other thing that really got on my nerves was that the restaurant wasn't open.
Yeah.
So you've driven all this way. I had it in my mind, we're going to have lunch at the Nullarbor Roadhouse, sit down, have a proper meal, and the restaurant wasn't open, the bar wasn't open.
I think that was because of the long weekend.
Possibly, or maybe they're not open during that off season.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got in the van and made ourselves a sandwich and stuff.
Alright, the famous Nullarbor Roadhouse. Whew. It's bright. Let the dog out. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm making the sandwiches. Alright, so we've just driven 300 k's from Ceduna to the Nullarbor Roadhouse. And I was dying for a chicken schnitzel. And they're not open. Snitty.
And it's Saturday.
It's a long weekend.
Pretty disappointed, to be honest. All they had in the normal Roadhouse service station was, you know, your takeaway chicken tenders and chips and stuff that looks like they've been sitting there all day. So back to the caravan it was. The bar's shut. It's actually pretty deserted.
It's because it's a long weekend.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just lying next to Starlink. I've stopped stowing Starlink away before we drive, just because I tend to turn the power off and then I go, oh shit, I didn't stow Starlink away, and I'm like, nah, that's it, you're just getting put away. Doesn't change anything. You only stow it if you want to put it back in the box. Yeah. Anyway, I've stocked up the sandwich box for times like this. So you got shredded cheese, cheese slices, some salami, tomato, some little condiments to put on top, lettuce, chicken loaf, ham, wraps, bread. We've got some aioli, some butter. So I guess I'll feed the misto so he can keep driving. Oh, Cooey, do you want something to eat? Do you want something to eat, Coos? Are you tired? Anyway, so we pushed on, we went right through the Nullarbor and we got to our beautiful site on the Great Australian Bight, and luckily we had the most amazing day, no wind. As you saw, the drone footage is epic, yes, the colours, and I think we stayed at one of the best free camps along the Nullarbor. I mean, I know everyone stays at Bunda Cliffs, and I've seen a few episodes lately of people staying at Bunda Cliffs, and it's not as dramatic as where we stayed.
It's almost like the rock formation's a different colour too. So I don't know if you saw in our episode, but down the bottom, the rock formation, it's very white. It's almost like limestone. And then it goes darker up, so you can see the levels. It's just stunning.
And it's like a straight cut. Well, not straight, but it's like, you know, it's very distinctive. Whereas the ones at Nullarbor, at Bunda Cliffs are different formations, and doesn't seem as such a high drop either.
We did drive past there, and it was packed.
Yeah, actually, there was something I wanted to mention. There is a whale. Remember there was the whale centre?
That's right. We were going to go in there, but there was no dogs allowed.
Yeah, so there's the whale centre near Bunda Cliffs, and you can turn off, and strictly no dogs, and you got to pay to get in there. So
yeah, no dogs, no drones.
And an entry fee.
Entry fee as well.
Yeah.
So we had to turn around because we had Coco.
Yeah.
And just another note with the Nullarbor, you don't have to stay at Bunda Rocks.
Bunda
Cliffs. There's so many camp spots all along. You just keep following the Nullarbor along, and you can just turn off wherever you like, and you'll have the place to yourself.
Exactly.
Be extremely careful around the cliff edges.
Yeah.
They do collapse. You can see it on the drone footage. There's some lot of rock falls down the bottom where it's just caved away. It's only a matter of time. If you park too close to that with the weight of your van and your car, you're in for a lot of strife.
Yeah. Or the cliff goes out, but you can't see what's underneath and it's caved away underneath, and you've only got a very thin layer.
A good 50 metres off
we
the edge.
We stayed right back, and also because of Coco, even though she went exploring. So we only had one night at the Great Australian Bight because we had to keep moving, and that was the unfortunate thing. Like, we would have loved to have another day there, but we also had issues with the water. You know, we've talked about us having to be level because we thought that was the issue. Now we know that that's not really ultimately the issue. It's the fact that, I don't know.
We looked into the fact that the hoses were around the wrong way, and I actually got that little tip from Lost Tribe Adventures that put that video out on. He had the same issue.
On his new caravan.
I was like, that actually could be it. So I swapped it around. It started to work properly. But then it was like there was an airlock in the line, and the pump wasn't getting full water pressure, so I had to then change that back around. So initially I thought that was the issue, but it wasn't. So I've put it back to the way it is, and now I physically have to pump water from the back tank into the front tanks. It's another day, beautiful backdrop, another drama. We all love drama. Drama.
Do you know what's really annoying is that we've driven all day and we've got to this perfect spot, and we're about to cook dinner, and then we run out of water.
I'll give you a bit of a backstory. We had an extra tank put into the caravan, so we have 285 litres of water, so 95 litre tanks.
Which you would have seen on our first episode. He showed you the app that we've got to monitor our water.
Yeah. So basically they've put a new tank in, but it's not transferring through to the other tanks. Now, I'm not 100% sure how they've hooked it all up. Fortunately enough, I've bought this inline pump. And originally what I was going to use it for is like a water bladder, which I haven't purchased yet, but I'm about to purchase and get it sent to Western Australia. Now, the inline pump should fix this problem. I'm going to hook it up to the drain plug in the rear tank, and then transfer all that water, 95 litres of water, into the front tanks so the pump can pick it up. So that's what I'm going to do now. Oh, here it is. Just a little 12 volt inline pump. And what I did is I just put a little cigarette lighter fitting on it. I'm going to hook up to this drain pipe, put my inline filter in, inline pump in, something like this. That hose goes here to that pump, bang, bang over into one of these tanks, and that should fix the problem. Then maybe I can have a beer. Is that right, darling?
He's hoping.
If I get it fixed, can I have a beer?
Yeah, for sure.
Can you put some in the fridge for me, please?
Oh, God.
Okay. Alright, so this is the plan. I had to, because I've got the 12-volt cigarette plug over here, this side of the van, I just used two 10-metre hoses, and we initially bought one big long 20-metre hose, and it just become like a nightmare trying to wind up and stuff, so I cut it in half, and I'm so glad I did, because we've used it so many times just for stuff like this, and also caravan parks if you want to extend your lead. It's pretty good. So this is the plan. Got the pump on the other side. We'll turn this tap on. That should be running into the hose. It'll go through the inline pump all the way back up. Bang. Into the front. That's the plan. You know what they say, all good plans. Probably going to take a while to suck through. Make sure I've got no kinks in the hose. Coming through there. And here we go. Come on. Might be on. Might have just needed a bit of priming. No doubt. Look, it's not a very high pressure pump. Just needs some bit of persuading. Hello. It's working. We're on. Well, that was a success. Let's hope this front tank, it's closest to the pump inside the van, so it has to work. Has to work. It's extremely important due to the fact that when you run out of your front tank water and you've got just the rear tank, obviously all the weight is at the rear of your caravan, so you notice the difference when we're low on fuel and when we're carrying water all the way at the back of the caravan. We could only do about 85-90 kilometres because otherwise we're getting a slight sway up, especially if the southerly wind come through and started pushing the van a fair bit. So it's like anything, you've got to pack your van right, and we knew that what the issue was, so we drove to the conditions.
Yeah. Anyway, we pushed on, we got to Border Village, and we had limited fuel left. Like, we'd used our jerry can. We knew that we had enough to get to the next fuel stop, and we filled up there. And I think Border Village was $2.79 a litre, and so we only put 20 litres in because we knew we were going to get to Eucla, and I knew that Eucla was going to be cheaper, but I didn't know if we were going to make it. So once we got to Eucla, we filled up the rest of the fuel, and that was $2.46 a litre. So there you go. And what's the distance? What, 15 k's between them?
Yeah.
So if you can fill up in Eucla. Yeah,
they've got you by the gangulis if you don't carry a jerry can or you don't have a long range fuel tank.
Our
fuel tank's 110 litres, by the way, and then we had 20 litres of diesel on the back.
Yeah.
This is probably why you want to take a jerry can with you, even if you don't use it, because we filled up at Ceduna for $1.85. By the time we got to the Nullarbor Roadhouse, it was $2.80. So now we're about 40 kilometres out of the next town, and this jerry can will get us there. Not sure what it costs there, but it's probably saved us a lot of money.
It's better doing it here than on the side of the road.
That's true.
The other thing I've noticed is if the fuel's really expensive, they don't even put the price up outside.
They don't.
You just drive in, you've got to actually go to the pump and go, what's the price of fuel?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got fuel, we crossed the border, we had to get rid of, so we went through quarantine. I've heard some different stories about quarantine. We had a really nice lady, she's just like, do you have any fruit and veggies? I said, yep. She stood at the caravan door while I opened the fridge and I said, I've got this, I've got that. She goes, yeah, you got to throw those out. There is some misconceptions. You can take potatoes and onions in, they just have to be peeled and the ends chopped off. Yeah, no fruit, lettuce, even in packets. So even if you've just bought a packet of lettuce and not opened it, you still can't take that in. No tomatoes, potatoes and onions can be peeled and taken in. So she gave me the option to turn around and just go back and sort it all out if we wanted to keep it. I said, no, don't worry about it, just throw it out. So
another important thing, there is a dump point there as well at that little service station before the border.
Oh yeah, at the border village one. Yeah.
Because you will need, obviously if you're staying along the Nullarbor, you're going to need a place to pull into.
Yeah, and absolutely no honey.
Yeah, no honey. But don't stress if you rock up there and you've got all this fridge full of stuff, they'll just take it off you or tell you, look, just turn around and go back to the service station and you can eat it or you can do whatever you want, but you can't take it across the border. And
we showed our freezer in the car. I just opened it, I set it to freezer and there's only frozen veggies in there and she was fine with that. So just do your research before you go through if you have a chance.
Yeah.
We pretty much stopped at most roadhouses along the Nullarbor because we were trying to find water and we couldn't get water anywhere.
No.
I can't remember the name of where we stopped. It might have been Kaguna, but I've got footage of us filling up water. So the one place we actually found water on the Nullarbor was at a service station where we had to pay $2 for 10 litres. Do you remember that?
The water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you put 60 litres in the tank.
And it was, it cost $12.
Yeah.
Precious commodity here.
What did you plug that into?
That's what I was telling you.
Oh, it's going into the tank.
Yeah. Come up with a new idea, because when you put it in here, you have to have it just trickling out, because otherwise it just keeps splashing straight back out. So I'm just going to fill it from the what do they call that tap down the bottom there?
The drainage.
Drain pipe. I'll just fill it through that, and then when it's full, it should come out here. Is it working?
What, $2?
Yeah. It's working. I don't know if keys should be up there because it'll probably break the hose. There's 10 cents dropping out there.
Okay.
Just saying that drip's 10 cents.
The stretch from the border to Norseman is long.
Yeah, it's huge.
We actually stopped halfway down here at Baxter Rest area. Just in the sort of halfway past the halfway mark, Baxter Rest area, we stopped there and we pulled off right out into the bush.
It was about 45 degrees, seriously
really hot.
hot.
We had the aircon pumping and we had a sleep and I did some editing and stuff. So we had a good rest, even Coco, like getting her out of the car.
Yeah, that was good for Coco. We're bunkered down for a bit with 3.5 hours out of Norseman, and it's been a massive long day of driving. How long do you reckon we were going?
Oh.
It's hard to tell because of all the time differences.
I reckon we've done at least 6 hours, 5 hours. Yeah.
Probably 5 full hours of driving straight. And you just get to that point where, and it's 35 degrees outside, so that knocks you around a bit. It's knocked Coco around a little bit. You start to know when you pull over, she doesn't want to get back into the car. You start to know she's getting tired and over the travelling. So
even though we've had a lot of stops, but
yeah, she just gets annoyed with it.
She's munching on a new bone now, so she's pretty happy.
She's got a frozen bone, so yeah, you just keep messing up the floors. Good girl. But the plan of attack is we really want to get to Moresman tonight.
Yeah, there's a RV free campsite at Norseman. It just means that our travel day tomorrow is only going to be 2 hours to Esperance.
Yeah.
So, and because we've gained 2.5 hours,
we've got plenty of sunlight.
Yeah.
And we have the air conditioner absolutely cranking. We just did a little road stop. There's no power, water, nothing. It's just a little rest stop.
After a really good rest, we decided to kick on and just go all the way through to Norseman, which was about 250 k's, and we smashed it. We just, I don't know, we just kicked it, ripped it.
Yeah.
So we continued along. We stopped at Balladonia Roadhouse, restocked on some food and drinks to keep going, and then we got into Norseman at about 7:15 at night. So we did drive through the dark, which you would have seen on our episode.
Yep.
And it was dead. Norseman was dead.
Yeah.
It was a bit
it's a sleepy hollow. It doesn't seem, nothing against Norseman, but it doesn't seem like a very safe place. Even the little section off the RV park, completely grey water. You're not supposed to use buckets or anything like that. They say that's policed. It's basically just a dirt bowl. There's
plenty of people with rooftop tents, little camper vans and stuff. They're not collecting their grey water, trust me.
They're not. But, each to their own. I'd strongly suggest just to stay behind the BP.
Yep.
The BP's got showers. It's a little truck stop. I just pull in if you can't make it to Esperance, if that's where you're going, then I just pull off into that BP there, and you can get fuel there. You can have a feed. They've got nice little. They've got plenty of food in there, don't they?
Yeah. So as you come into Norseman, there's a massive BP on the corner. Just drive behind it.
Yeah.
Find somewhere to park. Yeah, there's going to be trucks and stuff, but you're going to be safe. And there's showers in the BP that you can use. There's clean toilets. There's an array of food and drinks. And
you'd feel a lot safer there than the RV park.
Exactly.
Put it that way.
So we pretty much had a very quick sleep, got up early and hit the road for Esperance because we knew we only had a 2-hour drive, and that was the point of this.
It's good because then we had the whole day, and we picked up Laura's sister from the airport. It just worked. It was timed really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you come into a main town, like obviously you've got a list of things that you want to do. So we went to Woolworths, which you would have seen. We restocked the whole fridge and pantry. We got fuel again. We went and washed the car.
Yeah.
That car wash was out of control with the amount of people lining up.
Yeah, there's no car washes about anywhere.
And across...
Forget about trying to wash your caravan.
Oh yeah, you can't get your caravan.
Our caravan still hasn't been washed. No. It's killing us.
And across the road from the car wash is the dump point, and every time we went to the car wash to try and get in, there was someone emptying their cassette at the dump point, so no doubt that would be overflowing soon.
Actually, one thing you missed that we did, the first thing we actually did was went straight to the information centre. And the lady there was amazing.
Yeah.
They were so helpful, showed us all the little parks we could go to, all the free camps, all the dog-friendly camps. So strongly suggest to go to the information centre.
That's exactly what we did. In the GPS, we put in Esperance Visitor Centre, and that's where we went straight from Norseman. We're like, nah, we're going straight to the Visitor Centre, find out all the things we need to know about Esperance, because we wanted to find out where the low-cost camps were and whether they were still open. And yeah, we got some good information about that. Great information. So we decided to put an episode together of just Esperance because we did spend 7 days there. Yep. And it's stunning. So I need to put that video together and just give you all the highlights of where we went. All right, figures. So kilometres travelled from Ceduna to Esperance, including what we'd already done from Melbourne. We are up to 3,615 k's, which is a fair distance. And then the fuel that we've spent today is now at $1,743. So pretty much half the amount of k's that we've done is your fuel. We've spent $509 on groceries, more than what we anticipated. We've taken $500 cash out for ourselves to use. We've spent $431 on accommodation. So we stayed the 3 nights in Port Hughes in South Australia, and then we stayed 1 night in Esperance.
Keep in mind that we've had family as well with groceries, cooking for extra people.
And then miscellaneous, just drinks and food, lunch, other things that we buy along the way. We've spent $269. So yeah, we're up to $3,454 as of the end of week 3.
I'm going to lower that cost down a bit, darling.
So your average of $1,100 a week is pretty spot on. And by the way, this doesn't take into account of all the stuff we're paying back home. So this is just purely the trip.
Just the trip. Yeah, we'll only give you the trip figures because that's all that you should need to be concerned about.
Yeah.
Can I tell the viewers what happened yesterday?
With what? My foot?
No, not your foot.
Oh, we had another injury, but okay, we won't tell them about that.
You fish.
Oh, you fish?
I caught fish.
Oh my god. Don't worry about the whale watching tour.
Can you believe it? No, don't tell them about that. That's coming up on the episode. I finally caught some fish. Look, they're only little herrings, but it was fun.
You know what? I took a photo, so let me just show you this.
Well, you can show them you can put it up here somewhere. Left or right.
There you go. He caught a fish. Actually, he caught 4.
I caught 4 fish.
Yeah.
It was fun. It got the monkey off the back.
Yeah.
Crabs, fish. Next time it's got to be bigger.
Yeah.
It's a big fish that we can eat and cook up. Do a nice little cooking segment for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for all your support. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I've noticed on the analytics that over 60% of people haven't watched our videos and they haven't subscribed. So if you can do that, it really helps us out.
But the money is going up, so thank you for watching the ads. That's really helpful.
100%. So. And everyone that's written in and said that they've supporting us the whole way, we really do appreciate it. Even people that come up to us on the road, we just love like-minded people. So enjoy your week, and we'll see you on the next episode.
See you Monday night, 8 o'clock your time.
You can't promise anything.
No, I know.
Anything could happen.
No, well, we're actually bunkering down after tomorrow. So
we are. And King Billy's coming back on tour, and Harrison.
Let us know what cook-up you want King Billy and Harrison to do.
Yeah, someone come up with a great idea that they should do a little cooking segment, so we're like, perfect.
Fine by us.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. All right, see you guys.
Bye.